In contrast, Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine. Iraq, anyway.
Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Man, talk about the kettle calling the pot black. Good Lord. What do you mean the elections are rigged and the whole 9 yards? What do you think is going on here in this country? We're definitely following in the same footsteps. For this guy to act like this country is any better is just a crock. Yeah, anyways, those particular words did not go well with a lot of people. Putin with what he's doing in Ukraine and what Bush did with Iraq. Yeah, the hypocrisy is thick there. And it did not go unnoticed. This isn't the first time Bush has ever made any stupid comment in regards to Iraq. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, before we get started, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold or silver, right now is the time to buy. Before you make your purchase, make sure you go to our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you'll get a free half ounce of silver. Oh yes, look at that miner, $1,250. To my subscribers over there on Pimpy's News Network, this could be you. Or even better, this could be you. All 15 squares full, which led to a 64,000 jackpot that I got. That's right, if you're a subscriber on Pimpy's News Network and you pay $5 or more per month, once a month we will select one name out of the network. If your name is selected, we will reach out to you via email to let you know you have been selected. We will go live on air from the casino, put in $100 on your behalf, and from there everybody could watch live to see if you walk away with hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, and possibly even tens of thousands of dollars. We will all see live on air what the outcome is. That's going to be the fun part of this whole thing. So come on over, join Pimpy's News Network. $5 a month is all you have to pay to be eligible for the drawing. And again, if you're selected, we will do this live on air. You will see what the winner gets. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come on over there and join us. I look forward to it. Yeah, that's actually going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to start airing that live on YouTube so you guys can see whether or not the subscriber walks away with a nice little pocket full of change. Hopefully, they will be able to walk away with much more than that. But yeah, it's a random drawing. Anybody on Pimpy's News Network that pays $5 or more, you heard what the ad said. You will get randomly picked. We will contact you to let you know, and we will go live on your behalf. Right, so let's get back to Iraq. I told you before, this guy has made bad jokes pertaining to Iraq before in the past. Who remembers this golden oldie?
Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere. Nope, no weapons over there. Maybe under here.
People lost loved ones over there in the Iraq war. They knew ahead of time there was no weapons of mass destruction. It was just a way to remove another regime that was going away from the petrodollar and moving into a gold-backed dinar. They did the same thing to Gaddafi. It's no coincidence that these things happened to these two particular leaders back to back. And these are the same two leaders that were pitching to the other Arab nations to get away from the petrodollar and to go into what was known as the gold-backed dinar. So what was going on when he made that first little blurb that you seen at the beginning of the video? When pundits called former U.S. President Bush's gaffe about Ukraine and Iraq a Freudian slip, it reflects a deeper grievance about perceived double standards. It sure does. him making claims that over there they only rig elections and they are the only ones trying to imprison the political oppositions. Well, that's what they're trying to do to Trump. They're trying really hard to find some kind of crime. He's been charged with everything under the sky and yet has not been found guilty of any crimes. But it doesn't prevent them from trying. They're just trying to get the court of public opinion to sway in their direction so they can have support and an excuse not to allow Trump to run a second time. Bush was speaking from Electrum at the Southern Methodist University of Texas. Bush railed against Russia Vladimir Putin's autocratic rule and impunity that enabled the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq, is what he said. He meant Ukraine, but I'm sure deep down inside, he couldn't help but think about the parallels between the two of them, and that's why he said Iraq instead of the Ukraine. And ever since then, Iraq has been trying to do what it needs to do to get rebuilt and back on their feet. So what is the latest and the greatest over there in Iraq? So Barzani and Talabani met in Sulaymaniyah and the presidency of the Republic at the table for discussions. Says upon his arrival, Barzani, accompanied by the co-chair of the Patriotic Union, Talabani, went to the 3rd Military College to participate in a graduation ceremony of the 16th batch of college graduates. After the ceremony, there will be a meeting between Barzani and Talabani, which will be followed by a meeting with Saleh, the Secretary General of Kurdistan's Islamic Union, Ali, coordination of the Change Movement, Babur, head of the Kurdistan Justice Party, formerly the Islamic group. On the 21st of this month, the Kurdistan Democratic Party announced an upcoming meeting with the Patriotic Union of Kurdistan to resolve the dispute over the presidency, with the latter sticking to its candidate, Barham Saleh, for a second presidential term, which I'm supporting. Democratic Party spokesperson Al-Falali told the news it is hoped that there will be a meeting between the two parties, and if there is a response from the union, it is possible that we will find a solution to the political dispute and the outstanding crisis, noting that the response is the change in the national union of their candidate and resort to a settlement candidate to end this dispute. This is when you have to say, you know what, I give Al-Kadhimi credit where credit is due. Despite being handcuffed and restricted to what he can and can't do, thanks to the biased Supreme Court opinion who favors whatever it is that the coordinating framework needs, is at least able to accomplish some things on his own without a lot of help, unfortunately. But there's no doubt the government has to get formed and the budget has to get passed. This is about the Iraqi people, not their own selfish, greedy needs. The presidency of the region denies its request from the United Nations Security Council to mediate between Erbil and Baghdad. Things seem to be getting a little bit more tenseful. This is over the oil disputes that are going on there. We know that the judge had ordered them to do some specific things, and the last time I reported on it, they still had not accomplished what it is the judge wanted done. So now the media is spreading rumors that the Kurdistan president is asking the United Nations to come in and resolve the outstanding issues between the two parties, to mediate. And of course, the president of Kurdistan is denying that. This article goes on to say that Erbil wants to develop trade relations with Washington. 138 American companies are operating in the region. Of course, this would be awesome for Iraq. The more trade they do, the more they can export, the better. We know that real powerful and profitable corporations have a habit in going into countries whose currencies are devalued and establishing businesses there, and then deporting products that we use here in the United States from there over to our country and then sell them at a huge margin markup like they do with Nike. So companies usually take advantage of the cheaper currency and the cheaper labor. This is not surprising that they want more companies to come in. Of course, that offers employment for the Iraqi people. It says the head of the local government in Erbil, the capital of the Kurdistan region, expressed on Saturday the region's desire to develop economic relations with the United States in a joint press conference held in Washington with the representatives of the regional government in America, said that after the year 2014 and the emergence of the terrorist organization ISIS, large numbers of foreign commercial companies left the Kurdistan region. He added that the regional government has embarked on a process for the return of the foreign companies to conduct their businesses again. Regarding the relations between America and the region, American companies are ranked 8th in the classification of foreign companies operating in the region, noting that there are 138 American companies operating in the region. Of course, if this starts happening, the more businesses that come in, the better for Iraq. More people to work, less people on welfare or aid, more people paying taxes. You know the routine. And all this contributes to the strengthening of the Iraqi dinar. This is more on the article that was above. Kurdish party sit at the dialogue table in Sulaymaniyah, and the new generation refuses to attend. So now you got other people forming other new groups of political parties, each one jockeying for power. This is the same as above. All these groups coming together to work things out so that they can start forming a new government. But absolutely, they are not budging when it comes to their presidential candidate. It's Saleh that they want in there. And this new group, it says the head of the new generation movement refused to meet with the president of the Kurdistan region, Barzani, who will visit Sulaymaniyah province tomorrow to meet with the political parties. The spokesperson for the New Generation movement stated that the party refused to meet with the president of Kurdistan region because the movement attends meetings that concern citizens' interests and not address their problems and discuss sensitive issues, not sham meetings, as they put it. This article right here is the reason why the news is reporting that the president of Kurdistan has requested help from the United Nations despite the denial from the actual presidency. It says Barzani internationalizes internal differences. The Security Council approves his request to organize negotiations between Baghdad and Erbil. So, this article says that, and of course he's denying it. But we'll see, because if they're heading on out there to get things settled, it should be interesting. So there are a lot of issues going on. Hopefully the United Nations can go over there maybe and get something resolved, because there's more than just the differences between Kurdistan and Baghdad over the oil. They also need to get things settled as far as forming a government. We're in the 7th month and no government has been formed. This will only continue to hurt those in need more than anybody else in Iraq. This article says about $1 billion in bank sales in a week. Nice. This is the auctions that they're talking about. They can just add that much more to the reserves. That's what this is. So the auctions, what happens is, for those who are not aware, the oil is sold in petrodollars, or the United States dollars is what it is. Then the oil company takes those dollars and gives them to the banks. The banks then auction them off to other countries who pay in their own currency. Then Iraq's central bank takes money from those sales and adds it to the reserves. The stronger the reserve, the more they can secure their own economic strength, as well as strengthening the Iraqi dinar. And of course, this is great news. For the 7th consecutive day, Iraq is without any deaths from the coronavirus. And we all know why that's good news, because it allows them to open up everything and get back to business as usual as quickly as possible. Until the government is formed, not a whole lot's really going to be going on. So we'll keep an eye on it and keep you updated. Anyways, that's it for now, you guys. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, as usual, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.